so nature knows how to keep in balance and harmony. Right now, we have these beautiful autumnal colors here where I am in the Baltic states. And somehow every year this happens. The trees know exactly when to shed their leaves. The seasons shift almost effortlessly from one to the next as we go through this autumn period now, often for many a time of reflection, into the colder, darker winter months. Maybe the snow comes before the inevitable change and shift into the spring and then back into the summer. And it's all beautifully balanced and in harmony. It just happens by itself almost, or at least that's how it seems. And as I reflected, sat here today doing some work on this terrace in this beautiful hotel I'm staying in, it occurred to me that perhaps us as humans, perhaps you, perhaps I, we can learn something very important about this natural balance. Because we as humans, we often allow ourselves to fall out of the natural balance. We try to fight against what is natural. We try to fight against, the feelings that we have. And we try to force ourselves into a place that isn't balanced and natural. And of course, the biggest thing that you can balance in your life are what I would call the 4 life pillars of energy. Your mental energy, your physical energy, your emotional energy, and your spiritual energy. And these energies are what I would seriously recommend that you focus on balancing. All too often, we get focused on one of the energies and it dominates. So we might get locked in our mental, intellectual head. I often say to people, you could benefit from getting out of your head. And we neglect our physical body or our emotional states. Or sometimes, we might become addicted to the physical side and we become obsessed with the food we eat or over-exercising at the gym. But we forget the mental energy, we forget the emotional energy. And all too often, the big one that people often neglect is that sense of spirituality. Now, spirituality can mean many, many things. For me, I get my inspiration and my spiritual connection with this earth from nature, from just looking around me, observing the beauty that is everywhere and being grateful. And that also gives me a sense of perspective. Spirituality may also mean religious beliefs. It may mean something very different to you. But it also serves the purpose of giving you a sense of perspective. When things get really tough, when things seem really hard, when we get too wrapped into the negative emotional or mental energy or poor physical states, we often neglect the bigger picture. Yesterday, I almost missed the ferry, driving to the ferry port to come to this beautiful manor that I'm staying in. And initially there was a response of, oh, that's really annoying, stress. Oh my God, I'm going to miss the ferry. And then I went, wait a minute. What's the worst that can happen? You catch the next ferry. 90 minutes later, is anyone hurt? No. Is anyone suffering? No. Do you still have the opportunity to drive and observe the beautiful colors of autumn around you? Yes. Do you still have the opportunity to enjoy, the pleasure of this beautiful nature? So I think prioritizing the balance of our energies and making sure you take care of both your mental focus, your growth, your positive mental attitude, your physical state, your emotions, and also keeping that sense of perspective and bigger picture, the spiritual side of energy, is perhaps one of the most important investments you could make in your life. And after all, if you ever need inspiration, Just look around you. Just look outside your window and see how nature does it.